All right, folks, welcome back to another fantastic edition of Opaleye Presents Know Your Pros. And today we have Michael Mollenhauer, the president and owner of One-to-One Network, a digital marketing company specializing, of course, in all things digital. Mike does website creation, design, SEO, pay-per-click, social media, and content development. But perhaps coolest of all, he is in podcast production and marketing. He is a nationally known radio host with shows on KXFM radio in Laguna Beach, which can be heard in, I think, 113 countries, and
No, that,
KQUT in
yeah.
Southern Utah. WRGG, Hugs 24-hour radio music show. He's also got with his host and partner, Craig Meacham. I could go on and on about this guy, but Michael, before I do, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks. That was a great intro. I guess we're done now. I'll see you guys later. So,
We hit all the bases just now. My God.
just a point of clarification. So the radio show at KXFM, that is not in 113 countries. That's only national. That's only United States. But the Hugs Radio, WRGG, that's international. That's in 113 different countries. So
Gotcha.
hey, it's pretty close.
Hey, well, I mean, like you're a man of many angles here, and you can see Michael, in tons of different spaces, whether it's with his business, with his podcast or radio shows. The guy really is a jack of all trades and a master, not of none, but a master of all of these things. He's fantastic, and I'm here today to talk to him about his business at One-to-One Network. I want to hear a little bit more about that company. So, Mike, tell me and our viewers how it was that you got started in that. Why go into business for yourself?
How far back do you want to go? Should you go back when I started when I was a little kid?
We can go origin story. Give me the summary notes, but what kind of pushed
Okay,
you
here's what.
into that digital marketing space?
Yeah, so here's a couple things that got me going. Number one, I really don't do well working for someone else as an employee. that's kind of not my thing. I actually got started in this when I was, I think, maybe 10 or 12 years old. Not in this business, but I got started in the idea of being an entrepreneur and being self-employed when I built an amusement park in my front yard when I was like 10 or 12, and I charged my friends to play with me, and that turned out to be a very that was a semi-lucrative business opportunity, but unfortunately, it didn't last long because my mom found out about it and I had to give all the money back. So that was kind of the genesis as to how I got started in having my own business. But I think one of the things that started it off was, when you're working for somebody, you can kind of tell sometimes what the manager or the owner is doing that maybe you don't agree with, and maybe you would want to do something different and you find a better way. And sometimes they listen to you and sometimes they don't. So I just got a little tired of that and thought that I would be there'd be greater compensation if I could just go out on my own and do exactly what I want to do and do it the way I want to do it, and do what I like, do what I love, and make some money and have a good time while I'm doing it, and also have a business that also can lift people up from where they are. I know there's a lot of business owners that are struggling in their business, and they're wasting literally thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars on advertising and marketing programs, solutions that just don't work. And it's not that these people aren't good people and they're not smart. It's just that they're focused on working their business as opposed to delegating the things that they really don't do the best to somebody who really knows how to do it. So what I discovered is that for me, there was that was the market for me. I could see that there were businesses had the potential to be strong, really great businesses, good people, good products, good services, but they were just marketing themselves the wrong way. And they were wasting thousands of dollars on stuff that didn't work. So my job was to come in there and kind of clean all that up and say, you know, there's a better way to do this. And I was looking at your advertisements and I was looking at your website and stuff. And did you know that in the English language there are 30 words that sell and 24 words that unsell? And you're using all of the unsell words. So you're literally talking yourself out of business. So how would you like me to come in here and clean this up for you and make it easier for people to give you money
Yeah.
and increase your revenue, reduce your overhead and expenses? And lo and behold, it actually works. So
Yeah.
that's how I got started in that.
Yeah. I mean, and that kind of answers the second question we always have, which is why this industry, and what you said at the top there, you know, about so many businesses wasting money in spaces that they really just can't give their full attention to, or that
Yeah.
they really don't understand, is so important to me. I mean, and that's something that kind of motivates my selling each day, you know, which is, you know, hey, you know, you're taking a lot of time to work in your business. You know, why not take some time over here to work on your business and make it more of a profitable enterprise through smarter delegation, better tools. And I think that's just what you do at One2One
Right.
Network. So I want to get into the differences with what you do versus the next guy. Like, why is it that somebody should call One2One Network Michael Mollenhauer before they call that next guy? I mean, what is your difference factor there?
I have a lot of USPs that we could probably ascribe to the reason why, but I think the one of the reasons is I think I'm the only marketing company that actually understands the principles of sales and marketing and why people do what they do, what makes someone respond to a call to action, and what makes them not. I learned this in the old days. I started out in radio. I started out as a 6 to midnight rock jock at a radio station in the middle of nowhere. And to make any money, I had to go out and sell advertising. And what I discovered that was hard. And people would say things to me like, I advertised in your radio station and I didn't sell anything, and nobody did. You guys suck, and I'm not going to spend any
Yeah.
more money with you. And
Mm-hmm.
so that was kind of how that was when the light went on. And it's like, well, this is a good station and people are listening. So what I had to learn to do was to write advertisements using words that sold and convert features into benefits that would motivate people to respond to a call to action. So it's just not the act of putting something on the air. That's basically just prospecting. Anybody can prospect. That's not the most important part of the sales process. So I understand the most important parts to the sales process. So you've got prospecting, you've got presenting, and you've got the close. Prospecting is a numbers game. It takes no skill or talent, it takes some tenacity, but quite frankly, monkeys can prospect. The close is simply a natural ending to a good presentation. So what I do when I'm creating a marketing campaign for any client, because of what I learned in the old days when I started out in radio, was how do we make a great presentation? Because if you make a great presentation, all of the objections are overcome during the process of the presentation. You're able to convert features to benefits, get a better ratio of call to action respondents, and that's what I do. So I just don't focus on making a website look pretty and look nice. It really doesn't take that much skill to do that. I focus on what's going to make it sell, what's going to make someone call, what's going to make someone click, what's going to make someone walk in and buy something. When I was mentored by a guy who taught me. He says, Mike, this is a really nice ad. It looks really pretty. But quite frankly, if it doesn't sell, it's no good. That's how you can tell if an ad is good. If it sells, it's good. If it doesn't sell, doesn't matter how pretty it is, it's not good. So the
Right.
whole point, what I do, it's my mantra, and that's all the name of my radio show. What can I do to I only do one thing. I make it easy for people to give you money. People seem to like that. So that's what
Yeah.
sets me apart in the industry.
Yeah, and I love that. I've been a guest on your show, you know, make it easy to get, or for people to give you money. The
Yeah.
KXFM show is fantastic. And that's going to be my last question here for you, Mike, before we wrap this up. How can people find you? Where can they catch you? You know, do it better than I did at the beginning of this video. Tell our viewers where to catch you.
So you can find me online at the number, it's 121network.com. So it's the number one, the word TO, the number one network.com. You can email me, Michael, at 121network.com. You can call me at 760-963-7646. You can catch my radio show if you're in the Southern California area on KXFM 104.7. Make it easy for people to give you money. And if you send me an email, I'll send you the link to my radio talk show on WRGG, and I think you'll get a kick out of that. So that's kind of all about it.
Love that, Michael. Well, we're going to put everything that you just mentioned into the description of this video. So folks, if you're curious about any of those avenues to connect with Michael Mollenhauer of One to One Network, please check out the description here today. But Mike, God, thank you so much. You have been a fantastic guest, and having guested on your show, I think you might run a much tighter ship over there at Make It Easy for people to give you money. Thanks again, man.
I appreciate you guys. And by the way, I want to let your listening audience know that if you are interested in being a guest on my radio show, just reach out to me. You can email me, michael@121network.com. Let's chat, because the show is all about talking with business owners who've been successful and sharing your words of wisdom with other business owners to help make them successful too. So looking forward to talking to you guys. Thanks, Henry.
Did you know that Know Your Pros, I think it got a little bit of an inspiration from Mike's show. So we've got the guru, the master here with us today. Mike, thanks again, man.
You're welcome, Henry. You guys take care. See you later.